beautiful morning. Sun coming up. We're driving the Land Cruiser, and I get to go do what I love. Rock on. All right, rolling up to the shop now. Let's see if the gate's already open. Oh yeah, someone's here. Who is it? Oh, we got a couple people here. Cool. Well, and I see that the heater is on. Lots of fun things in store for today. Oh, look at that. What's that thing sitting over there? All right, got our key. All right, time to fire this thing up. Come on now. There it goes. Oil pressure. Barely any smoke. Alright, we'll let that warm up for a little bit. Here's what we're going to be doing today. We tore down a 928G, which is a small wheel loader, and these wheels and tires got left on it, so we're going to pick these axles up with the forklift that's idling out there warming up. Get those removed, washed, and over to the warehouse for processing. So, and we also have to do this if we get to it today. We're gonna separate the pins out of this small H-frame, which is actually from a 938G wheel loader. We're gonna get it all cleaned up and do the same thing. Kind of what I'm dealing with right now. They're in there pretty good. I don't see any Loctite on them or anything like that. They just, what happens is on the other side here, they're through bolts, and I'll bet you just all the crud and junk that's in there is binding them up a little bit. So let's go see if we can find a 1-inch drive, 1 7/16 socket to hopefully get those bolts off. If not, we'll have to get out the liquid wrench. Okay, let's go over to the toolbox and see if we can get the correct size socket. Hopefully. All right, okay, going through this, we have 1.25 inch, no. Ah, there we go. What do we got? 1.5 inch. Oh, these are all 3/4 drive. 1 5/16, no. That's an Impact 38, probably too big. Way too big. 30, no. 36. This will work, I'll bet you. So I believe 36 is like it's a tiny bit smaller than 1 7/16, but this is probably our ticket. Let's go see if it'll work. Okay, 36. Bang, just like that. Minimal play. We are 3/4, but I believe we're gonna get the same amount of torque as we were with that adapter, or without the adapter. So let's give it a shot, see if that works. All right, so we're down to our last bolt. You can see right in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stand off to the side, kind of hold the gun in here with my arm and zip it off, and then hopefully push the tire off of the axle, but we'll see how that works. Give it a shot. We're gonna move our 1 inch out of the way first, so let's do it. All right, she's loose, so we're gonna stay clear of it and hopefully either shake it off with the forklift or try and push it off first by hand. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and use the forklift. All right, we're back in the forklift. We're gonna take this axle to the wash bay, and I'm gonna do the same thing with that other axle that was sitting over there, and we're gonna get them all cleaned up. Fire up the forklift, and we'll head on over. All right, now we'll just do the same thing all over again. All right, we're on axle number 2, and whoever owned this machine had the bright idea of putting these things on there, which don't do this, because unsuspecting people will put their air gun on it and then smash it to bits and then have to take a set of Nipex and pry them all off. So here we go, axle number 2. We got both axles stripped of their wheels and tires. I'm gonna go ahead and get the pressure washer with the little forklift, get these all cleaned up, get all this stuff off of here. I can tell one of these has a major problem though. Obviously this one, pinion seal, or either this breather or something here is leaking pretty bad. And I want to say when we brought this machine in, it was a brake that was leaking, and the brakes are actually internal on these axles, and when you lose a brake seal, it pushes right out the axle and it just pukes fluid everywhere. So we'll get these cleaned up and ready for the ready line, which the ready line is where we go and put components that are going to be rebuilt. So we just want to make sure that they're all clean and ready to go. Got the little forklift. Let's get the axles washed and cleaned up. Got these axles cleaned up, looking a little bit better. So this is actually a 938G axle set. I thought those were 928s, but no, I took a closer look and these are from a machine that I dismantled a few months back. So this is the rear axle right here. You can tell because it has this, which is what we call the trunnion support, and it has the trunnion on the back. So basically this is the rear of the machine, and it moves back and forth so the axle can do this. This is your front axle, and it bolts directly to the machine. Notice there is no, it has a trunnion support, but it's not machined. This is technically the same part as that, but it is not machined for the trunnion to oscillate on, and it has no rear support. So I'm gonna get these moved over to the ready line, and then we'll start on that bucket and arm group way over there. Got my mess cleaned up. Time to get that 3408 moved out of the shop to make some room, get some stuff cleaned up in here, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get that bucket and H-frame pulled, and we'll get that thing over here and cleaned up. Had a little trouble, but we got it picked up. So we're gonna head to the shop now, and we're gonna try and bust the pins out of that. Get all the pins loose, bucket pulled apart, brought over to the wash bay, cleaned up, and then over to the ready line like the rest of the stuff. So we're gonna start by pulling these bolts, pulling these pins, pulling the top pin. We're gonna leave that one for now until we separate the bucket from everything. So hopefully these pins come out. They can be a real bear sometimes. So, well, I'm gonna get the right tool and a big pry bar and see how hard this is gonna be. So I'm gonna walk in the shop, come and get our 1-inch gun and a set of pry bars and some other stuff here. So, ooh, that got really dark. There we go. Okay, over to the toolbox. Okay, it was a 1-inch or a 15/16, but we'll get into the toolbox, see if we can find the right tools and get back out there. All right, got the correct socket on there, 1/2-inch drive. Let's go ahead and pull this guy off. Nice thought, huh? Well, let's step it up to the big gun and hopefully we don't have to use the liquid torch. Got the big gun out, found the correct socket for it. Oh no, well, hopefully it fits. Oh, nice, perfect. Perfect, all right. Let's see if this one will take it out. Like nothing. Okay. Do that to the other side. Actually, we got this one up here too. Might as well get it, if I can reach the gun in here. Yep. Perfect. We'll get the other side, get these pins out. All the bolts are out. And on the other side, now we just gotta, hopefully we can get a pry bar in here, see if that moves it. Probably won't. But worst case scenario, we'll have to get the smaller forklift in here, lift up on the bottom, get some weight off those pins, get them pulled out. So it looks like she's gonna move with a small pry bar. I'm gonna set this camera down and we'll now we just got to be really careful right here because this thing's like a big scissor. So got to make sure that we are aware that this thing could drop. So just like that, killer. Now to do it 2 more times. Running this stuff over to the wash bay. Look at what that is, another 3406B model. And I don't know if that one runs. If you guys want to see me try and start that thing up, let me know in the comments. Alright, got this thing cleaned up. It's still pretty filthy, but I wanted to show you guys down here. If I can get in here. This bearing is completely destroyed. So more than likely we're gonna have to line bore this, which is where we take a bar, put it in there. Well, first we're gonna weld it up and then basically cut it down to the correct size again because this hole is oblong. That's why this bearing broke. So if you guys want to see stuff like that, let me know in the comments and I will show you the process of rebuilding a component like this. So anyway, I'm gonna get this over to the ready line. I got all these components ready to go. Basically we're gonna take these and we're gonna mark everything we see wrong with them, get parts to fix them, rebuild them, and sell them to construction companies, mining companies all over the world. If you guys want to see the process of me rebuilding components like this, let me know in the comments and I'd be more than happy to do it. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Watch out for the next one. Please comment and like this video. If you think this is something that I should be filming regularly, that's not a problem, and I'll keep posting videos. Thanks, guys.